Gamer's Desire for the Past by Pimbert. So first we need to ask ourselves the question, what is nostalgia? Nostalgia is the recalling of past memories and experiences with a bittersweet emotional feeling that could either be good or bad. For instance, when you remember a fun day with old friends, you might smile, but you also might feel sad and regret now that that day is gone. This idea of mixed emotion is what makes nostalgia so powerful. Sam Brodsky, a staff writer for Wondermind, reports that in today's fast-paced digital world, we remember the past as a time when life was calm and more secure. Connection to stimulus material. Johan Norberg, a Swedish author and historian, asks, when were the good old days? Was it by chance the one incredibly short period in mankind's history when you were alive and more importantly young? People tend to view the past as a time when it was better and more kind. In addition, people who play video games when they are young recall it as the funnest time in their lives. Judith Binney, a credible writer and professor at the University of Auckland, states, when things change too fast, we lose our sense of control. This is probably why yearning for the past is especially likely when we experience rapid transition. Binney agrees with Norberg because as children or teens grow old, they remember the past and they want to go back to it for more comfort. Gamers miss the past more than the game. Gamers who want to go back to the old times and previous versions of video games want to go back for the past experiences and not for the features themselves. They long for a time when playing these games meant growing connections with family and friends. It is the shared experiences that matter the most to them, even if they don't know it. When they talk about missing the old times, the old version of a game like Fortnite, they often mean they miss the moments they spent laughing and competing with their peers. Gamers long for the past and social connections. Gamers miss the old times they used to spend with their family and friends before they had any worries in life. Christine Bacho explains that nostalgia brings up strong social feelings. For example, gamers miss the past versions of Fortnite because of the social connections they made, and like I said before, the times they spent competing. The impact of rapid change in the reminiscence bump. Most gamers begin playing video games during their teenage years. This is a time when many important changes happen in life, such as growth, learning, and forming their first real friendships. The reminiscence bump is a term used to describe when adults remember their lives as teens more vividly. It recalls the experiences with fondness, which is why the past was such a tight grip on us, making us want to relive those moments again. Counter-argument. Gameplay features play a bigger role in nostalgia. This view states that nostalgia gamers feel from the past comes from the video game features themselves and rather than the experience. Players miss the old cosmetics, old maps, and old in-game items. This is an example of rosy retrospect, the belief that the past was better than it really was. This view reminds us to consider that not every player's attachment is on the emotional part. Some really do focus on the video game features themselves. However, when we look at the evidence, it is clear that nostalgia comes from our social bonds and past experiences. Strong memories we form with family and friends last a lifetime. Wallace points out that no matter how much effort goes into recreating the past, we can never really get those true feelings back. The social connections we made during our formative years are irreplaceable. This shows that while game features may be a factor in nostalgia, it is not the main factor, which is nostalgia, which is emotions. Conclusion. Nostalgia in video games is driven by powerful past experiences and deep feelings, not merely by game features. It is the reflection of a desire for friendship, strong emotions, fun times, and simplicity.
Okay, Quincy, how did some preliminary information you gathered inform your research?
Okay, so some preliminary information helped my research by providing the context of what nostalgia really was and how I can use that to form argument, and it was the backbone of my structure.
Okay, and what additional questions came from your research and why are these important?
Okay, so some additional questions were about how video game designers can use emotions and social bonds to enhance their gameplay features. I think these questions are important because it can build a sense of community around the video games and build those social bonds.
Okay, thank you.